It's time to cook with Susan Beck. A little bit ago, I used my pasta press that I got for kitchen that attaches to my KitchenAid mixer, and I made 5 different kinds of pasta using a little pasta plate like this that goes in the attachment. So I thought this would be a great time to make another video and put this pasta to use. So I'm going to make cavitini. To begin with, we're going to get the water boiling right away for this pasta. Into this pot of water, I have already placed 2 tablespoons of salt. We want plenty of salty water when making any kind of pasta. I also have here 2 pounds of ground beef that I'm going to start browning. I'll just set that on medium. And the other thing to do right away is get your oven dial set to 350 degrees. So cavitini is an Italian dish made with 3 kinds of pasta normally, although we're going to use all 5 today since we were having fun playing with this pasta press for the first time. It's also got mozzarella cheese and spaghetti sauce and a little garlic powder, along with the hamburger that we're browning here. This is a dish that I grew up eating. My mother would make this for my siblings and I all the time, and the whole family has enjoyed this dish. Today I am going to be baking this in 2 different pans. What I like to do is to freeze one and make one on the same day. That way down the road when I need a meal that's quick and easy, I can just thaw it out overnight and it's ready to go into the oven when I get home from work. Pepperoni, to me, is the key ingredient that makes this dish extra special compared to other pasta dishes. I like to take my pieces of pepperoni and cut them into fourths. Then we have nice little pieces that you'll get a little bit of pepperoni in every bite. All right, moving over here to my stove, my hamburger is starting to brown. It's time to use my hamburger chopper to break that into some smaller pieces. I have used half a pound of pepperoni and 2 pounds of hamburger. This recipe can easily be adjusted though. There's really not any precise measurements needed, so you could use whatever you have. Now that the hamburger is all brown, it's time to drain off the excess fat. We'll just put that into the colander here, and we will let that drain off, and then we will put it right back into our skillet. I will add the half a pound of pepperoni, 2 cups of mozzarella cheese, 1 teaspoon of garlic salt, a few twists of my pepper grinder for some black pepper, and a 1.5 jars or 1 large jar of spaghetti sauce. And then you can also buy the smaller jars, 1 large and 1 small, or a 1.5 jars of spaghetti sauce. Alright, the only thing left to go into here is our pasta. Water is to a rolling boil. Look at that steam rise. So into there we're going to put our homemade pasta. Again, I have always made this with dried pasta from the store. Using up odds and ends of boxes, you want 7 cups of dry pasta. Today I'm going to use 1 batch of homemade rigatoni, spaghetti, elbow macaronis, and so on. So into the pot those go. Now, fresh pasta cooks much quicker than your store-bought, so this will be done in about 5 minutes compared to 8, 9, even 10 minutes cooking your boxed purchased stuff. All right, once I get that back up to a boil again, I am going to let this cook with the lid off. And then I will drain it again in my colander that I used for my ground beef. So we'll just give this a stir until everything is mixed together and we have cheese and sauce and meat in every spoonful. And once that is done, we will separate it into our 2 containers, one to eat tonight and one for the freezer. Now, if you're having a big party, having lots of extended family over, or you just have a big family, you could always just make this and eat it all at once. All right, tonight's casserole is going into the oven, again at 350 degrees. As for the one that's going into the freezer, I like to put a little bit of plastic wrap over the top of it, usually after it has cooled a little bit. And then over top of that, I put some tin foil. And then I just place the lid that came with this casserole dish on the top. And I usually can keep this in the freezer easily for up to 3 months when it's wrapped well. Oh, look at that. Nice and gooey. Look at all that cheese in there. Served with a little garlic bread and a side salad. I like a little garnish of some fresh parmesan on the top. Very good, just a hint of garlic and that homemade pasta. It's perfect.